Princess Margaret. Princess Margaret, the younger sister of Queen Elizabeth II, whose troubled private life aroused both worldwide sympathy and widespread reprobation, died yesterday morning in London. She was 71. She suffered a stroke on Friday afternoon, the latest in a series that had left her partly paralyzed in recent months, and developed her problems overnight, Buckingham Palace said. The Queen announced the death with great sadness, according to a statement from the palace. Prime Minister Tony Blair, who is touring West Africa, said he was deeply saddened. Attractive and fun-loving, Princess Margaret earned a reputation in her youth as a free spirit. But her 20s were clouded by unlucky romance with Group Captain Peter Townsend of the Royal Air Force, a Battle of Britain hero with whom she fell in love when he served as an enquiry to her father, King George VI. A daunting hurdle, divorce. In many ways, the group captain might have made an ideal husband, but the fact that he was divorced raised strong objection from the very establishment the royal family represented. As Queen, Margaret's sister, Elizabeth, was the supreme governor of the Church of England, which forbade divorce. Moreover, in the early 1950s, the political storm surrounding Edward VIII's abdication in December 1936 to marry a twice-divorced American, Wallis Warfield Simpson, was a not-so-distant memory. News media scrutiny was relentless and the pressure intense on Princess Margaret, then third in line to the throne, to break off the relationship, bowing to the demands of a moral code that a decade later will seem quaint to many people. She chose not to marry him. In May 1960, she married Anthony Armstrong Jones, a photographer who was himself the child of divorced parents. Their tempestuous marriage produced 2 children, but ended in divorce in 1978. The princess did not remarry, but her friendship with men, from prominent people like the actor Peter Sellers to less exalted ones like Roderick Llewellyn, an upper-class drifter 17 years her junior whose main accomplishment appeared to be a talent for gardening, hurt her reputation. So, did the fact that she was often less than gracious when faced with the drudgery of public appearances, the ribbon cuttings, diplomatic function, and endless other official occasions by which Britain's royals justify their position and the public money that finances it. Easily bored and often petulant, the princess was known for indulging her moods, which could swing, as Charles Hussey, a British journalist, wrote in the New York Times Magazine in 1965, from a gaiety that was sometimes febrile to Hanoverian gloom. Her extravagant style also prompted outrage. Her wedding cost the British government £25,000, then the equivalent of $65,000, and her 6-week honeymoon on the royal yacht Britannia cost £30,000 or about $150,000. In later years, she was criticized for demanding motorcycle escorts and government helicopters to travel around Britain. Yet admirers spoke warmly of her personal generosity, loyalty to the Queen and to her friends, and her irreverent sense of fun. Louis Armstrong, whose music she loved, once referred to her as one hip chick, and John Lennon playfully nicknamed her Priceless Margarine. To many people, Princess Margaret was the black sheep of her generation of royals. But that reputation did not necessarily trouble her. According to a biographer, Theo Aronson, she once told the French poet and filmmaker Jean Cocteau, "Disobedience is my joy." Princess Margaret Rose was born on August 21st, 1930, at Glamis, Scotland, the second daughter of the Duke and Duchess of York, 6 years before her father became King George VI, with the abdication of his brother Edward VIII. The family braved the Blitz. She was educated at home with her sister, the future Queen Elizabeth II, during World War II, when the King and Queen tried to present an image of both stoicism and good cheer to a battered nation. They rejected the suggestion that their 2 daughters be sent to Canada to be saved from the danger of the Blitz. Instead, the 2 girls remained with their parents, very much in the public eye. But with Elizabeth clearly being groomed as the next queen, Princess Margaret was often relegated to the background. According to some courtiers, her parents tried to make up for it by indulging her. When my sister and I were growing up, she was made out to be the goody-goody one. Princess Margaret told Andrew Duncan, author of The Reality of Monarchy, 1970, that was boring, so the press tried to make out that I was wicked as well. But in threadbare post-war Britain, the press often portrayed her as a glamorous, high-spirited young woman who delighted in trips to Paris and dancing through the night in fashionable London clubs. After Elizabeth married Prince Philip of Greece in November 1937, Princess Margaret became one of the most eligible single women in the world, and her name was coupled with various fashionable young men.